Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It is the last video of the day and of the week, of course. Well, of the working week. Obviously, I still do videos on Saturdays and Sundays, but not as many. But it is the last one, and I always like to leave you on a Friday with something nice to go into the weekend with. We'll all go off and we'll do our thing and have a great Friday night. And this is one where we can have a little bit of fun, but also where I can give you reassurance, because I did something earlier, and I put an image in your mind if you watched that video of Bunter, Ian Blackford, laying in the bed on his back, probably still wearing his socks, and with Nippy sitting on top with her little scrawny backside going back and forth as they were doing it. And it's a terrible, and that was at lunchtime, of course, and that was a terrible image to have in anyone's mind. And now that I've put it back in your mind, I apologise again. But I am about to remove all doubt, because it is not Nippy that he is seeing. It's not Nippy that he will be setting up his little London love nest with. It is an entirely different woman. You'll be pleased and relieved to know. Although I'm sure he still has aspirations in that direction. He apparently loves her deeply, which is why he's willing to destroy his own reputation by sticking so loyally to her. But we've got the photographic evidence that it is not her. Bunter's new friend is someone completely different. Here she is. Now, of course, I will say at this point, I'm not dropping into gutter journalism, far from it, and I have no view on this woman whatsoever. I will say my thoughts and prayers are with her, but she is at least doing her part for care in the community. She is sorting out and helping an old man who fails to come to terms with life as an SNP politician, knowing ultimately he will never succeed. And so she's looking after him as he enters his dotage and soon forgets his name, start dribbling down his chin at the mere thought of a Greggs. But we've got this. We'll just do it for information only. I'm not judging. SNP MP Ian Blackford splits from his wife and debuts new partner while down in London. Down and out in London, the way it's going with him, though, isn't it? Because he marries this woman. He's there all his life, and as they get older, he thinks, you know what, I've had enough of her. No one has considered whether she's had enough of him. Probably has. Let's hope that she's well catered for. He's quite a wealthy man, so I think she'll be fine for the rest of her life. And I wonder who'll get possession of the wee humble croft. Who knows? The former SNP Westminster leader debuted his new partner to his friends and colleagues in London. And I think that's a terrible thing. Hey, look, everybody, look at that. Look, hey, rather than just keeping your personal life to yourself, just look, what is this? He was photographed holding hands with her outside London BBC studios. And there she... Now, I mean, I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her. I don't wish her ill. Far from it. I wish her all the strength in the world. She's going to need it. Clambering over Bunter. Picking up his very wide, skiddy underwear. God. Anyway, former SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford split from his long-term wife and debuted his new partner down in London. The Ross, Skye and Lahaber MP has been... Did I say Haber? A harbour. I do this, I do it every time. Former SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford has split from his long-term wife and has debuted his new partner down in London. The Ross, Skye and Lahaber MP has been spotted numerous times in the capital with his new girlfriend, and the couple's relationship announced formally to friends and colleagues, according to reports. Surprised he didn't take out a full-page advert in the Times. That's what people used to do. This is the woman I'm stepping out with, who's not my wife. He's an adulterer, isn't he? He hasn't divorced. I'm not saying anything for her, but him. It just goes to show he is now an adulterer. On top of all the other sins. The man will be burning in the eternal damnation of hellfire, won't he? If you believe that sort of thing. The Press Association published a picture of the pair holding hands outside a TV studio in London, with a nationalist politician being interviewed by the BBC for the Sunday show. It's understood he'd left his marital home on the Isle of Skye around New Year, but only because his wife found out. He'd been married to Anne for over 20 years, but is now introducing a new woman as his girlfriend to friends and colleagues. And an SNP source at Westminster said to the Daily Mail, most colleagues are aware he's in a relationship, he's been making no secret of it, and he's been introducing her as his new girlfriend. After the new year, people had heard he left the humble croft. It doesn't seem to have been long before he was then in a new relationship and he was being quite open with it. He didn't leave the humble croft a single man. He'd been with this woman for some time. Not blaming her. He's the adulterer, not her. Mr. Blackford was interviewed by BBC Scotland for the broadcaster's London studio on Sunday, where he was quick to defend his ally Nicola Sturgeon. Oh boy, we've done that video. Kiss kiss the arse, eh? The loyalty shown, destroying your career to protect a woman who's on the way out. And he was spotted embracing his new partner on the House of Commons terrace during Westminster's Hogmanay festivities in the build-up to the midnight firework display. He's understood to be looking at purchasing a permanent home in London. Anything to get out of Scotland, eh, Ian? Your name is Mud. Who's going to have the wee humble croft? And there he is. The Skye MP is a member of the Christian Church of the Free Church. Oh, he's in the Wee Free, is he? The same congregation as Kate Forbes. Same congregation? Oh, well, you know, he must be the best of chums then. And he regularly... How does that stand? How does he stand in his church if he is an adulterer? Don't ask me which number, but it's one of the numbers, isn't it? One of the 10. How does that happen? Haven't they thrown him out? Who knows? He regularly speaks about faith and his family life. He seems to have abandoned his faith and his family is crumbling. And he posts pictures on social media of his life on the croft with his farm animals. He likes sheep, and that's all I'm saying on that matter. His working life has left him open to criticism as a former investment banker who held multiple jobs while also working at Westminster. He netted $38,000 a year as chairman of the funeral plan firm Golden Charter Trust and $12,000 a year at communications firm Comsworld. Man's making money, who cares? Man's making money, he's got to make a living somehow. But it's a bit hypocritical for him to do that and then moan about other people doing the same. And of course, he's just now a humble crofter, and we'll leave him alone. That's it. But it is the fact that he abandons his wife after all those years, and he steps out with a new woman, and then he's all happy and smiling. He must be getting some. Maybe that's why he retired. That's why he's declared, isn't it? That's why he said he wants to retire. He wants to spend more time. Yes, I do feel sorry for her, love. She's doing very well. You can't see in that picture, but there is a guide dog on a white stick. I'm pretty sure of that. But he'll take her to all the best Gregs. He knows how to treat a lady. I'm coming up. Now, I'm not one to judge. She was his secretary, you know. And of course, a lot of relationships begin at work. Indeed, my good lady wife was my secretary. 30 years. Good God. Good God. But then I wasn't married when I met her. I did actually sit down. True story. Interesting tangent. I walked in for the interview. I sat down and I looked around and I saw the girl and I just went, I'm going to marry that girl. I hadn't even got the job. I haven't even had the interview. And I just looked and went, I'm going to marry that girl. And I did. Good old me. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you that. Good luck to her. She's doing her bit. If she keeps him happy and stops him making a complete dick of himself for 5 minutes, then everyone's happy. He's resigning anyway. He'll soon be gone. And he can go and spend the rest of his time wandering around his love nest in his pants and socks, ready for a bit. I don't know if that's worse an image, I think, than him and Nippy. I'll leave that with you. Thanks very much for watching. Enjoy your evening. Hit the subscribe button. And will join me tomorrow when we get back to it. Although there may be some flash videos. Hey ho. Bye. Wine time.